Okay, so here's to a new podcast with Ashley Burke. Everyone, this is Ashley Burke, ultra marathon runner, running everywhere. Introduce yourself, Ash.
Hi, yeah, I'm Ashley. Ultra marathoner. Yeah, that's something I've only taken up in the last 10 years or so, and that's when I joined the hybrid gym. And but prior to that, I've always loved the bush, and I've been an outdoors outdoor bushwalking, mountain climbing, trekking, cycling, world traveller for all my life. And it was in the last, just in the last 10 years, I started the trail running, which was a lot more demanding on the body. And then that got me into, I thought I need something to balance out the injuries I was getting. And so that's what I ended up at hybrid.
Awesome. Now there's a little bit of a delay in recording, so forgive us if the recording is not 100%, but hopefully we get to hear everything of you sharing your stories and everything. Let's hit it right off the bat. What has been your biggest achievement starting the trail running?
I think, well, there'd be several, but if I had to pick one, I think it would have to be survival of this incredible race in Victoria, the 181 kilometre 1.5 Mount Everests of climbing through the bush, just thrashing away non-stop as it takes to finish. And that was just insane. And I was it was a day and night type effort. It was, you start at 5 in the morning, run / walk / clamber over the mountains all that day, all that night, all the following day. And then it gets into the second night. Yep, I'll turn it all on. And yeah, someone just came into the classroom. Yeah, and then it was the second night out in the mountains, non-stop. That was really tough, and it was just a battle to finish. And it's just, well, I've come this far. I'm just going to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and just count the steps to the finish line. It was still 50 kilometres to go, and it was like so it was like 3 a.m. on the second night. So after 46 hours on the go constantly, I ended up over the finish line and just stumbled around and was just a zombie. It was just terrible. But someone, people's arms, when you finish, you literally fall into someone whose responsibility is to treat you like a baby, because that's what you are at that point of total exhaustion. And throw a blanket around you, look after you, make sure you're hydrated, warm, take you to wherever you're staying, and collapse in bed.
That's crazy. So what, you ran 181 kilometers, is that right?
Yep. It's a running race. You run what you can of it, but it's actually in a mountain environment, so you just can't run up and down mountains. It's just the terrain it's steep, and you're actually using hands and feet some of the time as well. So a lot of it is scrambling and pushing your way through the bushes, navigating as well. So it's not all running, but it's all on the go. So it's a lot of walking, trekking, bushwalking, clambering over logs. And then there are sections that you can run because, say, it's on a trail or a track and not too steep, you can run it. So you just run what you can and just do your best for the rest of it.
That's crazy. So the mental game, you've got to be pretty strong for this, right? Let's talk about your mindset. When you get to the point where you think, shit, this is pretty tough, what goes through your head there?
Yeah, that's that. There's a lot that goes on in your head. And when I was doing this, one of the things that struck me is that my mind is stronger than my body. And that scared me.
Yeah.
because I realized that I'm so bloody stubborn and bloody minded up here that I could destroy myself in my determination to reach that finish line.
Yeah.
That scared me a little, because I said, I'm just not giving up, because I've come this far, like I'd done 100 kilometers, and then my feet were just screeching. They were just blistered to hell. It was like on needles for 80 kilometers. And, you know, so my everything else was just exhausted. So I was just hurting everywhere. And so my body was telling me it can't go on. But in my head, I just was determined to finish, because I couldn't face not finishing after having come all this way. And I slowed right down, was stumbling, you know, sleep deprivation, just falling asleep on my feet. But I just kept going and forcing myself. And in the end, it's just a refusal to quit. It's all it is. It's just I refused to quit. And that was the only thing that got me over the line, because if I'd listened to my body, I'd have just said, no, this is just not going to happen today.
Yeah. So you're obviously talking to yourself, right? In these sort of stages of this race. What are you telling yourself? Like what words are you using to tell you to keep going?
I think what I tell myself is that it's another 8 hours of pain that I need to endure for a lifetime of memories. This is something that I will do the rest of my life. And all I have to get through is the next 8 hours, and then I will have this something it has helped me as a person for the rest of my life. And the feeling upon finishing that is so wonderful, that you know, look, I did it. I didn't think I could do it, and I went through all that pain during the process, but I did it, and I got over the line, and that I'll have for the rest of my life. And I can talk about the pain that I had for those 8 hours, but I don't feel it now. Don't feel anything. I feel fine. That's all in the. But the reward is in the present and for the future as well.
Yeah, what an incredible feeling, hey?
Yeah, I mean, it helps you. I actually think it helps you develop as a person, because it helps you realize what you can do and what the human body is capable of and what you're capable of. And I see people who come on, say, a bushwalk with me and go, oh, no, I couldn't do that. Or they listen to what I've done and they go, oh, there's no way I could, there's no way I could even think of that. And I said, well, of course you can. There's nothing special about me. I'm not some superhuman. I'm not some god. I'm just like you. I'm just a bloke. And it's not like I just jumped up one day and ran 181 kilometers. It was years of. It was a decision to say that was okay. This is what I wanted to do, and then you work towards it over time. And it's first run is 10 Ks, and then I ran a 30K thing that nearly killed me, and then that qualified me for my first ever marathon, and I ran that, and it was really, really tough, and but I made it, and I thought, oh, if I can run a marathon, maybe I could do a 50K. And then the next race came up, it was 64, and I thought, oh, then there's 100K coming up next year, and so it goes on.
That's right, and it's taking you 10 years, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that want results from yesterday. So, but it's taking you 10 years to get to this point of mentality, physically and mentally being in this frame of mind to achieve these things.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. It's not an overnight thing, and it's not saying I can't do it. Well, you can, but it's one step at a time.
Yeah.
And I
It takes time.
like climbing a mountain, and if you look at the top of the mountain, it looks so far away, and that you couldn't do it, but it's just one step at a time, and you just keep plodding and you get there. It's the
Yeah.
same.
So tell me, with your experiences that you've had on these trails, how has that applied in your life? Because you mentioned before it's changed the way you live. How has that changed?
Um, it gives me a little bit more self confidence, in that I know that I can do this sort of thing now. Um, it's something also that I take on as I feel like I want to be able to give other people the same, the chance, the opportunity to gain the same rewards from it that I have. And so, you know, I've changed my career. I'm learning. I'm actually studying now to teach outdoor education. You know, so that I can take kids out on a bush trail and
Yeah.
say, you know, you don't have to sit in a classroom to learn a lot. You don't have to sit in a classroom to gain a heap amount and learn a lot, and you widen your experience. And that's what outdoor education is all about. So I'm getting into that, you know, and so I can, yeah.
So you followed your passion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, I've always loved travel and trekking and bushwalking, and turning it into the trail running was just an extension of that.
Yeah.
So
So
I've been doing it all my life. Yeah.
I guess for the people that are doing things that they don't want to be doing, but they're doing it for the fact of making money and not chasing their passion or what they love or enjoy doing, what advice would you have for them?
For those that are doing chasing money.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but you know, for instance, you had a job before, right? And your passion was being outdoors and taking people outdoors and showing them there's more to life, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What sort of made you leave your job to chase, I guess you could say, your dream?
Okay. So, well, first it's having gained enough financial security to do that to begin with. So you've got to have well, in my case, I had the IT career as a means to an end. And, you know, I was working in IT and it paid well. And I, you know, save my money. I don't, you know, spend it on frivolous things. I've saved up and became financially independent so that I can then make the choice to pursue my passions, not worrying about, you know, paying the next rent for 6 months while I'm studying, for example. You know, I've saved up, and so that has enabled me to do it. So, yeah, the whole time that I was in the IT career doing this stuff and only being able to do all the outdoorsy stuff in my spare time, I was telling myself, well, I need them. I need this to get my financial security sorted first, and then once I'm confident on that side, get out of there and go and do what you do, the love of it, for less money, but for more life. You know, less money but more life. Yeah, it's a hard decision to make, and a lot of people can't make that decision. You know, they've got jobs and kids and everything, and there's a lot of lifestyle decisions entailed in that. Like, I don't have children, so and that was a pretty major decision, so that I could gain the financial independence earlier on in my life and do all this stuff.
Yeah. So you'd almost say like you do the things that you had to do to live the life that you are living right now, or that you will live,
Exactly.
right? So there's a lot of
Pretty much.
sacrifices. Yeah, a lot of things that you.
Yeah. Very much. That's very true. Yeah. And if anything, my only regret is that I didn't switch earlier.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Um,
That's one advice
and
that you
here
can
I
give
am,
people.
you know, my actual retirement age is fast approaching anyway, and I've only got there for a few years left in the working, in my career. But I mean, I could do it as long as I want, really. Age is just whatever you want it to be, you know. It's nothing to say
Yeah.
you have to stop. But yeah, that it's true. The in the 20s and 30s, working in a high pressure office was to pay for what I'm doing now.
Yeah, cool. Because like, I mean, when I, with my years in the fitness world, I do see a lot of people wanting results, or wanting their dream body, or being strong as ever, but not willing to put in the work, or when they see how much work is involved, they're like, oh shit, this is too much. And then they sort of give up. So what I'm trying to do with hybrid training is give people that vision of this is what you need to do to get to where you want to be. But sometimes it's hard to see that.
It's an investment.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And
Yeah.
it's well worth it, right?
Heck yeah. I mean, we're investing all the time. We invest in we invest in ourselves when we go and get an education, and it's so that we can then get a career that we want and things like that. We're always investing in our future. You just got to do the hard yards. Yeah.
Got to do the
That's
hard
it.
yards. That's right.
Yeah, we've got to contribute, and we've got to put something back into the society that we're living in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wish I had that answer to, if I could snap the fingers and get results, that'd be amazing. But realistically, we're going to do things that we don't want to do. We're going to sacrifice the things in life that we might enjoy doing to achieve things that we dream of, right? Whether that will be, health and fitness, a dream job, just things like that. I definitely think what you have done sort of inspires other people, not only in fitness, but also work life and social life and family life. I think like you said, you need to put in the hard yards to get to that point of happiness, right?
That's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't just land in your lap.
Yeah.
Yeah. In some way or other. It doesn't have to be sitting in an office. I mean, there are many ways to live, but yeah, I think it's you got to invest effort to get the reward, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah. And so tell me how training at Hybrid has helped you with where you're at.
Right. Well, that's an interesting one, because I only started at Hybrid like relatively later on in my life, like in the first 45 years. Entire exercise was just incidental exercise associated with what I'm doing in my outdoor activities. So I wouldn't do any extra training. I would just go away out on weekends bushwalking, carrying a big backpack. I'd go, up and down hills and things, trekking, climbing, and that would be it. I just wouldn't train. Didn't see the need to, because I was fit enough to do what I was doing. But then what happened was, friend got me into this trail running thing, and I realized how lacking in training I was for the trail running. It was just a whole different level. So I just kept with the same approach. I just ran. All I did was run. And I ran on weekends, and I ran in the afternoons after work, and I ran and ran and ran. And then I hurt myself because what was happening was I'm training, the same muscles all the time. And there's other muscles that just aren't getting any kind of work at all. My upper body was getting virtually nothing. My quads were getting everything. Hammies and glutes were lazy. And I was getting injuries. And I then ended up thinking, what am I going to do about it? Tried a little bit of Pilates. That helped. And then, I need strength training as well. I need to balance out everything. So I need to go to a gym and work other parts of my body that I'm just not working running. It was Ben had some voucher over at Millennium or something, and so that got me over to your gym there. It was great. Nice community, great people, and the opportunity to start doing exercises that I'd never done before. I think on my first time I turned up at Hybrid, he said, jump on the rower and warm up, and then we'll go and teach you the things. What's the rower? I said, what does that look like? And how do you get on it? It was standing. I didn't have a clue. So that's where it all started.
What a start, hey? And look where you're at now, completing, over 150K kilometer courses. 181 was one of the courses that you completed. Now you recently went to Thailand, right? And you rode a bike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
So, as I said earlier, I just love traveling, and really sort of the independent, no specific agenda type travel where you just get off a plane and just go and just see see a country, get engrossed in a country and see what it's like, and not have a strict itinerary or strict a tour or anything like that. A wonderful way to do that is with a bicycle, and you can pack it up into a bag and just stick it on the plane if you've got enough baggage allowance, and hop on it to Chiang Mai over in Thailand. That's what I did in January with all the bushfires raging. What are we going to do? I'll go to Thailand, and unpack it at the airport and in Chiang Mai and start cycling and seeing all the mountains of northern Thailand. Beautiful little country there. Really, really steep roads. They're just very, very windy roads that go up over the limestone peaks to get to these little towns and villages up near the border with Burma, Myanmar, and Laos.
Yep.
And I just cycled from place to place with baggage on my bike, just a change of clothes and a tent and so on. And you just, and using booking.com, I just booked accommodation, say a day or two ahead of myself, depending on where I was at, and using Google Maps to say, okay, I can get to here. I think by tomorrow I'll book a little place here and ride to it. And it's beautiful. Yeah. Just get the food on the way as you go, with all the little stalls, the roadside. There's food in Thailand. You're never short of food. If you're hungry, you just stop, and there'll be some little stall there that just knocks up a quick fried rice.
Yeah. Thailand's amazing. I've been there many times, in Chiang Mai as well. Such a beautiful place. But that sounds like a lot of fun, hey? Traveling somewhere and just cycling and just, going with the flow. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it was hard work, I've got to say. It was because you've got the bike itself, bike plus gear on the bike is about 30 kilograms. So you're pedaling at 30 kilos plus your own weight up the hill. And it's just killing me. Like, it was really, really steep there. I think this is a serious workout, but like I was saying earlier, chip away at it, and and there are times when I just got off the bike and just wheeled it up and walking up the hill. But I knew I had enough time to do it. And then once I got to the top, it's a big, 20 kilometres of downhill on the other side. So I had no problem getting to the village in time. And it was tough. It was really tough because it's, tropical too, so it's pretty warm.
Yeah. You could almost call that life, hey? Like cycling up the hill, you get to the high point, and then it's all smooth sailing down from there. You got to put in the hard yards. You got to put in the hard yards to cruise back down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Much like what we were saying earlier, you invest in. I was thinking, what did I call it? The one disposable asset that you have when cycling around is altitude. The higher you are, the more asset you have, and then you just dispose of it with a huge downhill run. That's that money, and you got to build it all up again with the next hill.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's always up and down, which is what we need to go through. Hey, so we've only got we've sort of run out of time. It's 12:30, but if you could give a piece of advice, just off the top of your head that you'd like to share with others, whether it be health and fitness or one of your life experiences, or someone stuck doing something that they're not enjoying, or if someone's stuck somewhere that they don't want to be, what is that one piece of advice that you would give them?
I guess it is just, life's short would be the one takeaway, is that we don't have long. Life's short. Make the most of it. And so pursue your passions. Everyone would be, even those, not happy with where you are, everyone would have a passion for something. Go for it. And just pursue your passion, whatever it is. Now, in my case, it's all the outdoors and all this outdoor stuff. It doesn't have to be that. It could be family related, anything. Whatever is your passion, go for it. Make that a priority, and then work out how to get there.
Yeah, awesome. Pursue your passion, make it a priority, and work out how to get there.
Yeah, that would be
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
We'd love to speak more, but Ash has to go, guys. But thank you for the chat. It was lovely speaking to you. I'm sure I'll see you in the gym very soon. But yeah, very inspirational with everything that you've done. Is there anything else that you'd like to finish off with, or we're good there?
I think we're good. Yeah, no, I love the spirit at Hybrid, and thanks, Paul, for today. Sorry, I got to go back to class, but pursuing my passions. But no, you guys are on the right page in terms of helping us along the road. You can't. It's not something you do alone, is it?
Yeah.
It's something and one of the biggest rewards isn't what I've done, but the people I meet along the way. That's probably my number one thing in life, is not, okay, I've climbed this thing and I've done that and done this, but it's the people you meet along the way.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, you and the team from Hybrid and everyone who comes to the gym, they're all part of the story. And so it's just wonderful to share it with people.
Good. I've always said it's not what you do, it's who you do it with. So thank you for the chat today.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was, again, very inspirational to hear your stories, and I'm sure everyone would love to listen to this podcast and listen to hear and what you've achieved and the advice you've given us today. So thank you. We'll call it there, and I'll see you in the gym, all right?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah,
thanks,
we'll do. Thanks, Paul. Awesome.
See ya. Bye.
Cheers.